The inspiring musical Come From Away is being performed right now at the Aronoff Center downtown. It's the incredible true story of 7,000 stranded passengers and the small town in Newfoundland that welcomed them on September 11th when their planes were grounded. The show was based on a real pilot, one of the first women captains in history. Beverly Bass is that pilot, and she is here with the actor who plays her in Come From Away, Monika Aubrey. Ladies, I'm just thrilled to be able to talk to both of you today. Monika, let me talk to you first. So many people have asked me, how can you love a musical that's about September 11th? How can that be something I would want to see? Because it was such a horrible, tragic day.
Yeah.
But describe how this musical turns it into something really positive and inspiring.
Well, the story, it does deal with September 11, but it really is the story of what happened in the days after September 11 in this town called Gander in Newfoundland, and the kindness and generosity that town showed to a lot of people at a time that was a really fearful time for a lot of people. Yeah.
And there are only 12 cast members in this show to portray hundreds of people, if not thousands of people. Describe how that's done in the show.
So we have 12 actors on stage, more or less for the entire time, and 12 chairs. And we all play different characters, we all have different accents, and we use different costume pieces to flip around, and it's all at quite a pace. We clap through it around 100 minutes, no interval. And that's how we tell the story of hundreds of different real stories from different people who went through that experience of being stranded.
Including you, Beverly. Yes. You were one of the pilots who landed in Gander on September 11th after your flight was interrupted from Paris to Dallas. Tell me what it was like for you to go back for that 10-year commemoration of that time in your life.
Well, we got a call from an Austrian film crew in the summer of 2011 asking us if we were going back. And I didn't know that anything was even happening, but we decided to go back. And I really thought all I was going to show my husband was the Comfort Inn where we stayed. And I ate every meal for 5 days at one restaurant called Jungle Jim's. And I thought that was all I was going to show him. What I didn't realize is they had one magnificent event after the next plan, so we went to everything,
and that's how
it was spectacular.
And that's how the musical was created, because the creators met you there.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
They talked about in one interview your tremendous sense of loss, because you lost another pilot that you knew that day, but also you lost something else. Can you talk about that a little bit? Your love of flying. You didn't lose your love of flying, but there was an effect on that because there was a new fear that day, right?
Well, it wasn't so much a fear. It was the change in the airline industry.
Right.
Obviously, the whole world was impacted by 9/11, as it still is today. But the airlines were probably affected more than any other industry. You know, they went out of business. They filed bankruptcy. A lot of my friends, we all took pay cuts. So it was a very difficult time for us, and that lasted for almost 10 years. In the airline world, we refer to it as the lost decade. But we're booming and doing great now. It just took a long time to recover.
What was it like the first time you saw your story on stage?
Oh, well, we were just talking about that a few minutes ago. The first time I saw it, I had no idea that I was portrayed as much as I was in the show. And I didn't know that the song Me in the Sky that Monika sings had been written about me. So it was pretty daunting the first time. I've now seen it 139 times.
139
Yes.
times. Oh my gosh. Monika,
Yes.
what's it like for you to play her? What's it feel like?
It just feels very humbling and like a special responsibility to portray someone real and to know them. And this story is so important and feels so vital and so special. I just feel really chuffed and very honored to be the custodian of the story and get to tell it every night.
Well, it was a very, very special experience to see it. Thank you both so much for coming to talk with me today.
Thanks for having me.
Come From Away is on stage now at the Aronoff through September 29th. Please go see it. You will love it so much. Local12.com for ticket information. Enjoy your time here in Cincinnati.
Thank you.